That hit off, Goodread. The thing that makes the slider so difficult is
Pedro Guerrero was a top player in the MLB in the 1970s. He quickly became one of the most feared hitters in the league. But behind the scenes, Guerrero's life took a dark turn when he got caught up in the world of cocaine. The cocaine scandal didn't just harm Guerrero's career, it shattered the respect that fans had for him. But before we dive in, make sure to subscribe. In September 1999, Guerrero found himself in serious trouble when he was arrested for allegedly trying to buy a staggering 33 pounds of cocaine from an undercover agent. The news sent shockwaves through the baseball world as fans and former teammates couldn't believe that such a talented player was caught up in something so dangerous. The charges were severe, and the situation looked grim for Guerrero. However, the story took a surprising turn in June 2002 when Guerrero was acquitted of the drug conspiracy charges. During the trial, his attorney successfully argued that Guerrero didn't fully understand what he was getting into. The defense claimed that Guerrero was unaware of the true nature of the deal and didn't grasp the seriousness of the situation. The jury ultimately agreed, and Guerrero walked free, but the ordeal left a lasting mark on his life and reputation. He was one of those who did not live an easy life. From the start, the odds were against him. Guerrero was born on June 29, 1956 in San Pedro de Macorís, a bustling town on the east coast of the Dominican Republic. Growing up wasn't easy for young Pedro. During his early teenage years, he had to leave school to help support his family. His parents had divorced, and the responsibility of providing for his mother and siblings fell on his shoulders. To make ends meet, he worked in the island's rum industry, earning less than $3 a week from the backbreaking work of cutting sugar cane. It was a tough life, but Guerrero did what he had to do to take care of his family. Despite the hard work, Pedro still found time to pursue his passions. He loved playing the drums and, more importantly, had a deep love for baseball. On weekends, he participated in organized baseball games where his natural talent quickly became apparent. By the time he was 16, he had already made a name for himself in a local youth league, primarily playing at third base. His skills on the field were undeniable, and it wasn't long before he caught the eye of talent scouts. One of those scouts was Reggie Otero, a pioneering figure in Latin American baseball scouting who represented the Cleveland Indians. When Otero traveled to San Pedro to check out this young prodigy, he was immediately impressed. Standing at 5 feet 11 and weighing just 157 pounds, Guerrero wasn't the biggest player, but Otero saw something special in him. Otero noticed the broadness of Guerrero's shoulders and the potential for him to grow stronger as he matured. He had lived off rice and beans, Otero remarked, noting that with proper nutrition and training, Guerrero's physical abilities would only improve. In late 1972, after observing Guerrero's raw talent and potential, Otero offered him a professional contract with the Cleveland Indians. The deal included a $2,500 signing bonus, which was a significant sum for the young man and his family. The bonus was set to be paid out on New Year's Day of 1973, marking the beginning of Guerrero's journey from the sugarcane fields of San Pedro de Macorís to the bright lights of professional baseball. His career was an extraordinary one. At just 17 years old, Guerrero took his first steps into professional baseball, starting his career in the Gulf Coast League. This remote rookie ball league was a world away from the big leagues, but it was the beginning of Guerrero's journey. He spent a season honing his skills, showing flashes of the talent that would later make him a star. In April 1974, a pivotal moment came when the Cleveland Indians, in desperate need of pitching, made a trade that would change Guerrero's life. The Indians sent him to the Los Angeles Dodgers in exchange for Bruce Ellingson, a left-handed minor league pitcher. This trade at the time might have seemed like just another move, but it turned out to be one of the most lopsided deals in baseball history. Ellingson only appeared in 16 major league games, while Guerrero went on to have an illustrious career. The trade became a classic example of how one team's gamble can pay off in a big way. The Dodgers' personnel director, Al Campanis, had recently hired Reggie Otero, the very same scout who first discovered Guerrero in the Dominican Republic. Otero knew the potential Guerrero had and recommended the Dodgers acquire him. It would take a few more years for Guerrero to break into the big leagues full-time, but the Dodgers knew they had something special. While the Los Angeles Dodgers were winning pennants between 1974 and 1978, thanks to a steady stream of talented pitchers from AAA Albuquerque and savvy trades, Guerrero was busy making a name for himself in the minors. He consistently hit over 300, earning spots on minor league all-star teams at both first and third base. Guerrero's star was rising, but in 1977, just as he was leading the Pacific Coast League at Albuquerque with a staggering .403 batting average, tragedy struck. He fractured his left ankle while playing in the field. This injury cost him a likely call-up to the majors, delaying his debut and making the wait even longer. Despite the setback, Guerrero's determination never wavered, and he would eventually prove that the Dodgers' faith in him was well placed. Guerrero finally broke into the big leagues in late 1978. Guerrero's journey in the major leagues began in a September game that wasn't exactly ideal. The Dodgers were getting blown out by the San Diego Padres, but in the fifth inning, Pedro got his chance. He came in to pinch hit for Rick Sutcliffe, a former minor league roommate who would later become a rival. Facing the tough Randy Jones, Pedro stepped up to the plate and delivered a single, marking the first of what would become 1,618 hits in his MLB career. Exactly a year later, he made another big splash by hitting his first major league home, run off Padres pitcher Bob Ochinko, wrapping up his 1979 season with 25 games under his belt. By 1980, Pedro was proving to be a key player for the Dodgers. He wasn't just sticking to one position. He was a utility player who could fill in wherever the team needed him. That season, he played in 6 different positions, helping out at second base for the injured Davey Lopes and covering center field for Rudy Law during his slump. Despite bouncing around the field, Guerrero managed to bat an impressive .322 with 7 home runs and 31 RBIs in just 183 at-bats. His versatility and solid hitting made him a valuable asset to the team. The 1981 season brought even more opportunities for Guerrero. When Reggie Smith, the Dodgers' regular right fielder, was sidelineed with an arm injury, Guerrero stepped into the role. He was off to a strong start, hitting .325 as the Dodgers took the lead in their division. But just as things were heating up, a player's strike in early June brought the season to a sudden halt. When play resumed in August, Guerrero's performance earned him the first of 5 All-Star selections. Although his batting average dipped to .269 in the second half, the Dodgers had already secured a playoff spot thanks to their strong first half. The postseason was a roller coaster for the Dodgers, with Guerrero struggling at the plate as the team barely survived tough series against the Houston Astros and the Montreal Expos. However, when the World Series rolled around, Guerrero stepped up. Facing the New York Yankees for the 3rd time in 5 years, the Dodgers found themselves down early in the series. But Guerrero played a crucial role in turning things around, particularly in Games 3, 4, and 5. His crowning moment came in Game 6, where he put on a one-man show, driving in 5 runs and racking up 8 total bases with a triple, a home run, and a bases-loaded single. The Dodgers won 9-2, clinching their first World Series title in 16 years, and Guerrero was named co-MVP of the series alongside teammates Ron Cey and Steve Yeager. The following years saw Guerrero continue to build on his success. In 1982, he earned a Silver Slugger Award for his outstanding offensive performance as an outfielder. He also became the first Dodger to hit 30 home runs and steal 20 bases in a season, a feat he repeated the next year. In 1985, Guerrero had an incredible June, tying a major league record with 15 home runs that month and matching the Los Angeles Dodgers' season record of 33 home runs. He also reached base 14 consecutive times, falling just 2 short of Ted Williams' record, and led the league in slugging, on base, and home run percentage. But Guerrero's aggressive style of play had its downsides. He was known for being an aggressive base runner, but his sliding technique was less than perfect. During spring training in 1986, he ruptured a tendon while sliding, an injury that sidelined him for most of the season. After that, he ran less frequently on the base paths, but in 1987 he made a strong comeback, batting .338 and winning the UPI's Comeback Player of the Year award. His batting average that year was the highest by any Dodger since Tommy Davis hit .346 in 1962. As the Dodgers reshuffled their lineup, they moved Guerrero from the outfield to third base to replace Ron Cey, who had left the team. Guerrero also filled in at first base when needed. While some critics questioned his defensive skills at third, Guerrero was actually one of the best in the league at getting to the ball, proving that his value went beyond just his bat. Then came his time to retire, but he then stepped into coaching. During the Los Angeles Dodgers' memorable 1988 championship season, Pedro Guerrero's time with the team came to an end when he was traded to the St. Louis Cardinals in exchange for pitcher John Tudor. It was a significant move, as Guerrero had been a key player for the Dodgers. But the trade opened a new chapter in his career. In 1989, Guerrero had a standout season with the Cardinals. He batted an impressive .311, hit 17 home runs, and drove in a career-high 117 RBIs. His 42 doubles led the league, and his performance even earned him some MVP consideration. However, after that peak, Guerrero's production began to decline. Injuries started to take their toll, and in 1992, a shoulder injury limited him to just 43 games, the last of his major league career. He struggled at the plate, finishing the season with a .219 average and only one home run. By 1993, Guerrero found himself without a major league team, so he signed with the Sioux Falls Canaries, an independent team in the Northern League. He spent that season splitting his time between the Canaries and the Charros de Jalisco in the Mexican League. The following year, he returned to the Canaries, trying to keep his baseball career alive. In 1995, he made one last attempt at a comeback, this time with the Midland Angel, the Double-A affiliate of the California Angels. However, after that season, Guerrero decided to retire from professional baseball. Over his 15-season career, Guerrero played in 1,536 games and left behind an impressive legacy. He finished with a .300 batting average, racking up 118 hits, 730 runs, 267 doubles, 29 triples, 215 home runs, and 898 RBIs. He also had 97 stolen bases, 609 walks, and boasted a .370 on-base percentage and a .480 slugging percentage. Defensively, Guerrero played at all three outfield positions, as well as first, second, and third base, recording a solid +77 fielding percentage. In 26 postseason games, he batted .225 with 20 hits, 4 home runs, and 16 RBIs. After stepping away from the game, Guerrero was out of baseball for several years until 2011, when his former teammate, Mike Marshall, who was then the commissioner of the Arizona Winter League, hired him as a hitting instructor. In 2012, Guerrero took on a new role as the manager of the Tijuana Truenos in the Liga Norte de Mexico. The following year, he became the manager of the Vallejo Admirals in the Pacific Association of Professional Baseball Clubs, but his time there was cut short when a new ownership group took over the team and relieved him of his duties. In 2014, Guerrero found success once again when he was named the manager of the Rieleros de Frontera in the Liga del Norte, based in Monclova, Mexico. Under his leadership, the Rieleros had a remarkable season, culminating in a championship win. They defeated the Palau Tuzos 4-2 to claim the league title, adding another achievement to Guerrero's long and varied career in baseball. That is it for this one, but if you happen to like MLB Legends, make sure to check out our latest videos on our channel, Baseball Icons. I'm sure you will love it. Oh, and while you are at it, drop a comment telling us who to cover next, and don't forget to subscribe.